Hello there, Gail Gunn here with Energy Organizing, back for day number 2 to talk about my big why. And the why stands for what I do, how it came to be, and the yearning I have for sharing it with others. And it just so happens that I have a different category or client segment to talk about each day this week. And yesterday I talked about space utilization. Today I want to talk about organizing. And so, when you ask most people the question, what do they know of professional organizing? They would say, closets, bedrooms, pantries, storage areas, things like that, being able to organize things or compartmentalize things in a way that they look more organized, which is true. That is only part of the equation, though. For me, I found out, or not found out, but I realized a long time ago that I was always very organized at work. My desk was always immaculate. I loved my office because everything had a home. It was easy to put things away. And because it was work, every night before I left the office, I would put things away. And then when I came in the next morning, they would be right there where I put them to get back at it. And so I did. I always found that my desk was always immaculate and I was always super organized. And I loved creating organizing systems for work, especially office jobs. Those were always my favorite. Go figure. But in my personal life, I wasn't necessarily as organized. And, the story that I want to share is back when my life was in major transition. I had years of stuff in boxes and bags in this one particular room after having to move. And it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I just wished it would go away on its own. But the way I like to tell the story is just like an unwelcome surprise party. Every time I opened the door, there was my stuff. Surprise, we're still here. And so, I reached a point in my life where I was like, I'm done. I'm done with all of this clutter and I'm done with all of this stuff just kind of being haphazard. I mean, if I could be organized at work, it couldn't be that hard to be organized at home. And so I got a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, I don't know. I got several banker's boxes, and I liked the banker's boxes, temporary storage, all the same size, easy to move, sturdy, that sort of thing. And I went through and I organized everything, and I put everything in boxes. I labeled it. It looked amazing, especially for somebody who likes things to look, really well organized. And I labeled all the boxes. It was my great wall of boxes. Like there had to have been at least 3 or 4 high, several wide. And I felt great, but only for a little while. About, I don't know, a couple months later, 2, 3, 4 months later, I realized that I didn't actually feel any better because I still had all that stuff in that one particular room. And although it was organized and easy to identify, I felt like an organized hoarder. Like I still had years and years and years of stuff that I just couldn't let go of, and I didn't really know what to do with. And so, like I said, although it was really well organized, it just didn't feel better. So I went back through all of the boxes and started making those tough decisions, finding homes for things in my space. If it didn't have a home, I decided, does it really need to stay here? What do I do with it? I started donating lots and lots and lots of stuff. I actually took a few trips to this donation place, and they asked me, like, do you even have anything left? And I was like, I still have plenty. And so, that was where the process began. It started with getting things out of my space so that I could focus, and then going through those boxes and allowing it to be a process and being able to make those decisions. And what I realized, or what developed as a result of that, was my philosophy around organizing, that, organizing isn't about having things perfectly in place. It's about being at peace with what we choose to keep in our life and how we choose to live, and about letting go of the things that no longer serve us so that we can organize, so that we can live a more organized life and a much more simplified life. So I narrowed, at that particular point in time, I narrowed everything in my life down to whatever was in my space, which was a really small, you could call it a studio apartment, a really small space, and about 6 totes, holiday decorations, some memorabilia that I wanted to hang on to, and a couple other things. I can't even think at the moment what was in them, but there was about 6 totes. And that was it. And it was really good timing because at that particular point in time, I was moving, and I was moving into a 1-bedroom apartment with my partner, now my spouse, and he and I did not have a lot of room. And there was just a little storage shed. So anyway, The whole point of that is to say that the organizing came as a result of already being an organized person at work and being able to create that kind of order for myself and for others, and then having it branch over into my personal life and being able to organize that as well. And this is also, with the organizing, I have an outside-in approach. I help people with their space and organizing it and getting it set up. And in talking with them about their space, it leads to conversations about what's happening in the space and where the disorganization or the clutter or the chaos may be coming from, and being able to help them through those things. And then this actually branches into what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, which is where life coaching comes in. And so I'm going to save that for tomorrow's conversation. But, the organizing really was, the cool thing about organizing is there are those who have the A-type personalities and those who are naturally organized. Order is just something that they do without really having to think about it, but it's also something that can be taught. There is a transference of skills when working with a professional organizer that can help you set up the system. I help my people set up the system, or my clients set up a system for which they can then maintain. And that's the other thing, is that organizing isn't a one and done. It requires getting things in order and having a home for them, and then being able to keep up with it or quickly be able to put them back. So this is a little bit about where organizing came to, or how organizing came to be. And, because of my journey and because of what I learned and my approach, I really have this yearning to share it with others and to be able to help them in their journey to organizing their space and their life. So I'm excited to be doing this. And there's a couple other ways, like these all kind of tie together, which you'll see as we go through, but stay tuned for tomorrow, or the next video, where I do talk about more about how life coaching came into the picture, or coaching in general. And then there's still 2 more days after that where I'm going to talk a little bit about interior design and staging. And then the last one that comes kind of out of left field is entrepreneurs and helping them get organized, or organizing the needs of their business. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. I would love to hear in the comments, how do you feel about organizing? Have you worked with an organizer? What was that experience like for you? Are you looking to work with an organizer? Would you like to further connect? Share in the comments. Or reach out to me and let me know. I always love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you on the next video.